Good morning, church. Today's chapter is 1 Samuel 7. So, quick summary of this chapter. The ark has returned to Israel. It's staying in Kiriath Jearim at the house of Abinadab, and it stays there for 20 years. After this, in an amazing display of repentance, Israel turns back to God. At the direction of Samuel, they cast out all of their idols and meet together for a time of prayer and fasting. Well, seeing Israel all gathered together and weakened by a state of fasting, the Philistines seize this opportunity to come attack. And Israel is terrified. They immediately are just asking Samuel to go between them, to intercede for God and ask God to help. And God answers. God sends an incredible thunder on the Philistines that confuses them and allows Israel to rout them. Samuel commemorates the way God delivered them by making an altar with a stone he calls Ebenezer, saying, "Thus far God has helped us," and makes a sacrifice on that altar. And the following little blurb of the chapter just details some of the logistics of the end of his period of judging Israel, where he would always return to his home in Ramah. So as Randy says, we always have to find where is Jesus in this chapter, and he's all over it. In particular, what stands out to me is Samuel calling this stone Ebenezer, which reminds me of one of my all-time favorite hymns, "Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing," written back in the 1700s. The second verse says, "Here I raise my Ebenezer, hither by thy help I come, and I hope by thy good pleasure safely to arrive at home." So I think what this chapter in particular highlights is that it's God's doing, it's not us. Thus far God has helped us, as Samuel says, means God brought us here. It wasn't our own doing at all. Or hither by thy help I come. And after that, what's highlighted is then our need for an intercessor. Israel needed Samuel to go between them and God to pray for deliverance. In the same way, we need Jesus, who does the same for us, but on an incomprehensibly larger order of magnitude. Paul describes it in Romans 5:8 as, "While we were yet sinners, Christ died for us." Or as the hymn says, "Jesus sought me when a stranger wandering from the fold of God. He to rescue me from danger interposed his precious blood." It is Jesus who seeks us out and brings us to him. For by grace we have been saved through faith, and this is not our own doing. So pray that prayer for somebody today, church. Pray that Jesus seeks them out and finds them and brings them to him. Whether that's your young kids or just someone you know who's been struggling. Pray that prayer for somebody today. Have a blessed day.